Welcome to the Healers Podcast, where we inspire and guide healers through business expansion. We give voice to incredibly abundant healers to share their stories. We dive into the quantum field to unlock the energies of conscious creation. We also develop digital tools to help you grow, which you can find on healless.com. I'm your host, Yuli, and I'm grateful you chose to join this space. Now let's go deep. Hello, my dear friends. Another exciting episode of the Healers Podcast. And today I'm just super thrilled to talk on the subject of rewiring your energetic field for success with our incredible guest, Dr. Louise Swartswalter. And she is a motivational speaker and internationally recognized authority on the brain-soul connection. Just love that definition. Dr. Louise has been helping transform lives individually and in groups using a unique multidimensional approach, including natural therapy, biofeedback, trauma release work, NLP, life coaching, and energy work. Louise is the owner and founder of the Brain Soul Success Academy, another great name, and the creator of the Brain System, a 5-step transformational program that works on the mind, body, soul, and energetic field, all at the same time for quick results that stick. Over the last 30 years, she's helped clients worldwide achieve optimal brain power and success in life and business. She is passionate about connecting, clearing blocks of success, and helping others achieve their highest potential. I have goosebumps just reading your bio. I'm so excited for this conversation. And, I like to set intention for each episode. And this one just has so much potential that I feel like I don't want to limit it. But I think just if we just consciously all agree to kind of use this next 30, 40 minutes as a container to potentially explore our own blocks and where are the opportunities to grow, I think that would be my intention.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome intention.
Great. So
Yes.
Where should we start? I think I would love to just learn. I mean, you mentioned the process, right? And I'm just really curious about the process that you've developed. Of course, our listeners are holistic practitioners, holistic healers that are just so tuned into this idea of helping others kind of grow and transform. And I feel like sometimes we forget that we are part of that transformation. We still on our own journey, right? Many of us clearing our own blocks as we go. So tell us a little bit about your work and how that could potentially apply to our holistic healers.
Oh, absolutely. Well, this is my space. I love, holistic healing. I've been in this area for over 30 years. I started Albuquerque Natural Health Center. I got really sick though. That's how I got in this field. So I ended up on oxygen for about 3 years. I had 2 small kids at home and I was diagnosed with 3 autoimmune diseases. And no doctors were helping me. Medical wasn't helping me. So just like many of you, if you're a holistic person here, holistic healer, functional medicine, whatever you do, you often have a story of how you got there. So that's the background. And it took me 16 years to heal, and it's how I put my system together. So the system is 5 parts, and it's literally body, mind, spirit, energy field. It spells brain. And so the B is body. R is release. So body is like take care of your body, eat right, get good sleep, exercise, all those things we know. And when you're taking care of yourself this way, so I always think of heal thyself first. So yes, we're in service, but we have to take care of ourselves. So it's that self-care. And when we think about self-care, we often just think about, again, eating right, sleeping, exercise, and it's much more than that. We have an energetic field that goes all the way out to the stars and the moon. And we've got to take care of that too. So it's energy field hygiene, really. And so what I discovered was different steps that would help people do that, but on a deep level, like the connection between the brain and the soul is so important. And it's not being dealt with really on a level that it can be. And so that's what I discovered on my path of healing, because I kept saying to myself, Hey, I'm this much better, but I still am not me. Hey, I'm a little more energetic because it took me a long time. And now I can at least take fish oil. I couldn't take that in the beginning, but I'm still not me. And I kept seeking and trying to find that like deeper, authentic self, that soul truth. So the R in the brain system is releasing. It's releasing ancestral blocks, childhood wounds, all the stuff that got stuck that pull you away from being you. And then A is in line with spirit. So spirit, God, whatever your higher power is, that's always a part of healing. And then I is integrate. It's integrating your brain frequencies to your soul's true purpose. So it's finding that purpose and then integrating your brain, body, mind, spirit to that. And then the N, I love the N. The N is new program. So it's how to rewire your brain with the new program and your energy field, much like you would think of a computer, Yuli. So like a computer, if you're going to put a new program in, it's going to work better, right? You're upgrading your virus software or whatever. We can upgrade you because your brain actually has rings around it. It has an energetic field out of these capacitor rings. And when they're out of balance, you'll have that like brain fog, or you'll feel tired, or, you're feeling like you're just not yourself. You're feeling out of sorts. We got to put those rings back in balance. And so when you do all those steps together, body, release, align with spirit, integrate, and put in the new program, is when people make the biggest transformational leaps to becoming their authentic self.
Wow. Yes. I mean, I can feel every word of what you're speaking. I've been on that journey of rewiring, and I love your software comparison because I'm a techie and I love creating software for my living. And I couldn't agree more. And I think a lot of people like freak out about this comparison sometimes, but it is true. We are computers in terms of at least the brain part, right? And it's amazing, like how many similarities. I even give people like a very simple advice, just like, make sure like as you reset your brain, like reset your computer as well once in a while, because we carry so much. It's kind of the other side of it, right? We carry so much on our computers and it clogs our brain too. So there's like definitely a connection there. But I love that process. I mean, it sounds very simple when you say it, right? But I'm sure we're talking about a journey here. What's the typical kind of process, or how long does this program take? Not to use like too many three-dimensional terms that attach us to time. I know this process can be timeless, but how does it work in our physical terms?
In physical terms, if I do like a deep dive brain system session with somebody, or my certified coaches do that, it can take 90 minutes to 2 hours, because we're looking at the body, we're looking at, and yet there's pieces that I can pull out and do more quickly. But when you really learn the tools is when you can really elevate your life in a big way, because they call them brain soul hacks. And then there's codes. So the new program piece is codes for success, and they're numbers, and they're done in the energy field of the body. So they're done on what we call spin points. And so instead of acupuncture points on your body, you have an energetic field. And so, 4 to 6 inches out in your field. So for example, these points will release stress, and it's just 2, 3 love, 5, 3 forgiveness, 6, 5 choice, 9, 2 freedom, 4, 2 greater love. And I'm going down your left leg. So I'm releasing stress. So I've taught a lot of people these, and they call them their beauty routine. Like you do this in the morning, you can do it all day long. It keeps shifting energy and pulling out, goes 7 generations back and 7 forward. It's just that very simple, but deeper.
Wow. Now you really got my attention, because 90 minutes, I thought you were going to tell me we have to sign up for a 6-month journey to explore our ancestors. But 90 minutes seems very doable for many of us.
Yeah. No, I have different programs. I have 9-week programs. I do have a year program where people learn it, and then they can, become certified in this and then work with their own tribe, their own people, using these deep dive tools. But it's really completely transformational. I take people with traumatic brain injury, and in 3 months, they don't have that anymore. Then they quit smoking. Then we helped their son, and then they went from 30,000 to 200,000,
How did you come up with this brilliant and simple system? What is the source of it? Like, did you have to go on a mountain and meditate for hours and download it?
Kind of, yeah. I had all of these pieces. So, I'm a naturopathic doctor and I own Albuquerque Natural Health Center for years. And I was biofeedback too. So I combined naturopathy and neurobiofeedback. So the brain has always been my thing. I'm like, oh man, if I can, I even want to go to an anatomy lab and look at that would be so cool. Anyway, so I do a lot with the brain, and my clients would come back and they'd be better. I was really good at that, but I started to see all their emotional issues. I was like, you know what? Emotions are part of this. This isn't just a physical issue. This isn't just giving them the best supplements in the world and helping them detox parasites. So then I started learning all about emotions and, different ways to clear that, and then I would just keep going to classes because I was always wanting to learn more too. And then I ended up working in the world of energy work as well. And really what happened was I combined all the pieces. I started to see and practice with my clients. I mean, honestly, they were my practice. They were my teachers, I say. We learned from everyone. You might learn from me, but I learned from you. We all learned from each other, right? So I learned from them. And so I would just kind of say, oh, I think I'm going to use those codes I just learned when Heather comes in. And so I'd be like, hey, I'm learning something new. Can we do it today with you? And I literally just sort of practiced and started to see that when I used a certain combination of things is when things stuck better, their emotions were different. They'd come back and tell me, hey, guess what? I'm communicating better with my daughter, with my son. My husband and I are connecting in a different way. Everything would start to change in their life, not just their physical health. So that's how I really created the system.
That's incredible. And I think a lot of practitioners also just probably so inspired by this story because many that I know personally, they're really looking to creating their own systems, or they have maybe beginnings of something that could turn into something of their own. But, you seem to have a lot of clarity and intentionality about what you do. So, but it seems like it was a process that took several years and different trials with clients, correct?
Yeah. It absolutely did. It took me 16 years to heal my own body, mind, spirit, but I kept learning new tools. And then when I was healthy enough, that's when I started my center, started in my house, bought a condo in a building. First I rented an office, then I bought an office, then sold that, and I've been doing coaching now for really about 10 years. And so I moved online. I moved online before COVID. So that was a good thing, but I just love, I'm passionate about watching people change so much so that we take before and after pictures because it looks like they had a facelift after I do the brain system. I literally am giving people energetic facelifts. It's better than Botox, Yuli. Just better than Botox. So,
all right, now you really got me.
No, it's just because everything is energy. We're 99% space and 1% matter. So I always show people that pain starts in the energy field. And then those codes that I did earlier, and we can do these. We can do a little demo if you like. They take the pain out of the field. So one integration, and I'm thinking about this because this is our 8th annual boot camp coming up. And Cherie, a few years ago, was our miracle integration demo person. She had pain in her hip for 15 years. And after that integration, it was gone. It's never come back. So that's how powerful when you go into the ancestral line and you start clearing those blocks in the brain and the soul. It's just deeper.
Oh, yeah. And is the participant kind of active in that process, or it's something like you do as a practitioner? And is there something people can try at home to see how effective it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I think of it as co-creation. And then there's brain hacks that you can learn to do on your own. And one of the very first ones is called Mind Gems. And so it's brain balancing through touching parts of your body that are like those spin points in the field. And what it's doing is it's putting the rings around your brain back in balance. So think of an atom like that has rings around it. And if those rings are off balance or kind of wobbly or not rounded or whatever, you're going to feel off balance. And so Mind Gems puts those back in balance. And it's just little, and we'll give this to you guys. So this is just for all of you. You can put the link in the show notes. But one of them is just crossing and touching. Right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder. And this balances polarity. So it's balancing the right, the left, the polarity in your body, the yin and the yang. And it feels good, right? And you hold that for 12 seconds and then you switch. And I always invite people to hold their intention here, what it is you want to create in your life, what you're thinking about today. And then there's another really great one. Let's see, should we do that one? The one behind the head. Yes. And then we cone our fingers. And so we put our fingers together like little wands. So your thumb is touching all your fingers, almost like you're making little pointers. And then you're going to take your right hand and put it on your left occiput. So it's crossed behind your head. And then your left is on your right. So it's like your hands are crossed. This clears fear and it switches on the brain. And again, you hold this for 12 seconds. And then you switch. So switching just means your other hand goes on top. I would even teach my dyslexic students this. So there's 12 of them. They take like 4 minutes to do. And they'd get better grades. And they'd focus better.
Wow. That's really cool. We just did it, by the way. You guys can't see us, but we're just doing the exercises.
Yeah, we're doing those exercises. Another really great one that balances your electrical system. So this is a good one to use when you're in front of your computer, you're waiting for something to download, but it also just balances your electrical body. It's just putting your fingertips together, almost like you're praying, but open hands. And this balances your electrical body. So there's 12 of these. And when you do them all together, you'll feel more balanced and you'll feel more focused and have more clarity. So a lot of my community does these morning and night. So I do them every morning before I get out of bed. I do them in bed. And then I do them at night before I go to bed and I sleep better. And so it's just a way to balance the brain, but you really balance the brain, mind, body, spirit at the same time. So simple.
Love how simple it is. And I do feel more clarity just after this 3 12-second simple exercises.
Yeah. So those are really simple. And kids can do those too. So I've taught lots of kids to do those. So kids, your grandkids. So, we'll put the link there for you guys. But Mind Gems is powerful. It's the very first little tiny tool, but it's still this much. Lots, of what's really possible. It's a tiny little bit. But I'd love to share with you, like maybe we can walk through a soul tie box, which is part of this ancestral clearing.
Sure.
Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, cool.
Of course.
All right. So we usually start with like a goal, So think of your audience and you right now, Yuli. And can we use you as a surrogate here for the room?
Oh my God, yes, please. I love that so much.
Okay. And I do big groups, by the way. I have a big event coming up. So I do big groups. So like if you were in a room of, 200 people and you were the surrogate for the room, everyone in the room will feel it too. So I'm thinking of your community, your podcast listeners right now too. Yes. So what we do is we do a goal, an intention, and I walk it down. And then I put that in a box, and then I'm going to intuit and figure out the people or situations pulling you away from that bottom line goal. And we're going to clear age 6, the womb, great-great-grandmother, whatever comes up. Okay? So,
right, let's go.
Well, let's go. I know, it's so fun. So Yuli, what would you like to have change or be different?
I think I would like to see our Healist community growing faster and larger.
Okay. So if the healers community grows faster and larger, what would change or be different in your life?
I would feel that I'm fulfilling my mission and I'm closer to the big vision that I have for this venture I'm building and the community.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of power, and it's not necessarily like a ego drive. I don't want people to think that. It's more about, I really believe in the power of healers. And I do think by bringing them together, it will increase exponentially. And I do feel deeply that this is my mission here to do.
Okay, this is awesome. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm writing these down. So our healer community grows faster and larger. I'm fulfilling my mission and I'm closer to that big vision. And I bring the power of healers together. So if all those things are happening for you, how will you feel?
I will feel very fulfilled. My heart would just be so big and full of gratitude. And I will feel like I'm doing something that is actually has real impact to the world.
Okay, let's see, is that bottom line? Yes. So it's the giving back to the world, feeling fulfilled. Your heart feels big. You're full of gratitude, right? Your healers community is growing and you're fulfilling that bigger vision and that mission. Yeah, you have a big calling, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I can feel it. That's really beautiful. And I'm sure there's people out there listening who also have that. So here's what we do. We're going to put your feeling fulfilled, having that gratitude, being able to give back to the world, having the community grow.
And raise frequencies in the world. That's really...
Raise the frequency. Yep.
It's the energetic mission.
Okay. I really love the frequency work I do. So I have like 5 different biofeedback programs and I use those as like in the background and work on people. I mean, I can also like get people out of the hospital and stuff, so it does physical, mental, emotional, spirit. It does all of it, but it's so cool because it does raise vibration. And so I love my tools. All right. So let's put all this in a box and say, okay, who or what is pulling you away from this goal of yours? These intentions.
During the next 15 minutes, Dr. Louise went back to points in my life where she found strings attached to them that were holding me back from fulfilling my mission. One of the strings took us back to my early childhood, and another one to my teenage years. The last one was going back 4th generation and was clearing ancestral trauma. Due to the personal nature of these conversations and other individuals involved in it, I decided to leave them out of this episode and come back to the point where Dr. Louise rewires my brain for success.
When I first learned this work, and the piece that I'm going to do on you now, where I'm going to rewire your brain with some codes with your goals and intentions here, I came home from that class. It was a weekend class. This is over 20 years ago, you guys. And my kids were different. They were teenagers at home. And I walked in and that weekend I was like, that Monday and Tuesday, I'm like, what just happened? Like, God, they're different. And I didn't understand that I changed. When we change ourselves, that's why it's heal thyself first. Okay, when you do your inner work, it reflects in the outer. You want to have a bigger business? This is the heart-centered piece. You got to work on you and your heart wounds. So I'm having an event. More of my heart wounds are coming up. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I can feel it. I have to keep clearing on myself, So that's usually what happens. So now let's rewire your brain here. So say your goals. I'm going to have you say these. Say, our healers community grows faster and larger.
Our healers community grows faster and larger.
And I'm fulfilling my mission.
And I'm fulfilling my mission.
And I'm close to my big vision.
And I'm close to my big vision.
Okay. I bring the power of healers together.
I bring the power of healers together.
These are powerful. I feel fulfilled.
I feel fulfilled.
My heart is big.
My heart is big.
And full of gratitude.
And full of gratitude.
I give back to the world.
I give back to the world.
And I'm raising the frequency of the world.
And I'm raising the frequency of the world.
Well, that's beautiful. So So now I'm just going to do these codes. So you're going to hear me, and I'm circling my hand. So I know we're on a podcast. You can't see this, but I'm circling my hand, and these first ones go down your left leg. So I'm just saying 2, 3, love, 5, 3, forgiveness, 6, 5, choice, 9, 2, freedom, 4, 2, greater love. Then I come down your front. So just kind of like from your thymus gland down to your belly button. And I'm saying 4, 2. I think I'll have you say this. Say, I have positive self-worth.
Have positive self-worth.
2, 2. Say, I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
4, 4. I choose to live in joy.
I choose to live in joy.
And 6, 2. I choose to live by the higher laws.
I choose to live by the higher laws.
Excellent. So those help self-sabotage patterns. Okay. And then I'm going to do some other codes on you that deal with, again, these rings around the brain. 1, 4, 7 on your back side. And I'm going to have you look at my X. I'm just putting my arms up in an X, and you're just going to look at the X. 4, 5, 9, 6 is the consciousness ring. 9, 6 over the top of the head is the cranial ring. 8, 6 is over your left ear. It's the hearing ring. 6, 8 is the seeing ring. It's on the left knee. So these are different parts and points on the body. 3 to 9, 26 complete cycles, 5,859 times. 2 to 8, 23 complete cycles, 2,623 times. 375, 377, self ring, digestion ring. 4, 5, 8, 6, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 7, releasing trauma. 10, 5, 7, 8, 2, 8, 7, 7, 5, and the shock 1, 2, 3, placing with peace 5, 2. 5 to 11, 37 complete cycles, 87,357 times. 2 to 8, 24, 32 times. 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 2, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Yay. Okay. I always say, did you feel the wind through the computer?
I just felt some forces for sure.
Your whole face is changing. It's really cool. Watch this later. You'll see. So we're going to lock these in. So we say them again and then we lock it in. And so it's kind of like there's a pre-test. I re-educated the body with the codes, with those numbers, the body in the field. And then we post-test. So it's just like school, and then we kind of lock it in. So I'm going to have you say, do I need to have you say them all? Yep, we're going to say them all again. So say, our healers community grows faster and larger.
Healers community grows faster and larger.
I am fulfilling my mission, and I'm closer to my big vision.
I'm fulfilling my mission, and I'm closer to my big vision.
Excellent. Good. I bring the power of healers together.
I bring the power of healers together.
Beautiful. I feel fulfilled.
I feel fulfilled.
My heart is big and full of gratitude.
My heart is big and full of gratitude.
Beautiful. I give back to the world.
I give back to the world.
And I raise the frequency of the world.
And I raise the frequency of the world.
Oh, that's really awesome, Yuli. Good job. So the way we lock it in is we clasp our hands together and put them above our head. And if I was physically with you, I would try to pull your arms down. So you just pretend I'm there with you and I'm trying to pull your arms down and you're stay strong. Okay. And then we're going to cone our fingers on your right hand, like make a little wand with your fingers on your right hand. And you can bring your hands down now. And then, because I'm going to have you make a circle with that hand in front of your heart. So you're just kind of making a clock, going around a clock and saying 2, 2.
2, 2.
I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
And then tap your belly button 8 times. 1, 2. And that locks in those intentions, those goals. So we change the field. So I know that's going to happen for you. It's only a function of time. Because we changed the field pattern.
Wow. That is a fascinating work. Wow. I'm going to need a minute to process, but this was just so interesting. Thank you for, sharing your work so openly. And, I think it's just, it's just powerful to see you in action.
And it's really like I just tested, you're going to process for 4 days because we did ancestral work here. And so doing the mind gems will help you. So make sure you do the mind gyms every day to help this stick. Okay,
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, so download those because you're going to process. It's kind of like an emotional detox, just like if I gave you an herbal detox. So there's always a piece, there's always homework, to do that. And then even for our listeners too, if this is, a lot of people will tell me when they see me doing something with another person, oh, that was my mom, or that was, my situation with my boyfriend, so it's important. So if you're listening, grab those mind gems, start doing them. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it was a group healing for everybody. Probably anyone who's listening to this and going through this kind of very personal podcast, which is a little different for me, but I love every second of it. Hopefully you're here because you needed to be here and it resonates. So
absolutely. And thank you for being our surrogate for that process. Just like you have the same mission. The more people that this can spread to and we can heal, the more we can raise the frequency, of the world. So this is a way to get that out there.
And, I love sometimes with healing, just doing it kind of publicly and having the collective holding the healing space for you. And I'm so lucky to have audience of healers, right? So
yeah, it's awesome. No, I love this space. This is what I've been doing, and invite people. They can learn that. You can learn some of that. So you can learn more than the mind gems. We have an event coming up. It's March 8th through the 10th. It's my annual Brain Soul Success Boot Camp. And you can come and learn these tools if it's resonating with you.
Absolutely. We're going to put all of your info in our show notes because I think a lot of people are going to be intrigued by your work and potentially learning your technique. Because what I'm seeing in a healing space, there are people adding different modalities and different techniques and kind of, mixing it all and coming up with their own ways to heal, which I think is beautiful. So I think it will resonate with a lot of our listeners.
Yeah, it's awesome. So very awesome. So thank you so much for what you're doing and creating this community, Yuli, of amazing healers and the work that you're getting out there and your beautiful platform. Oh my gosh, such a great service, such a beautiful service that you're doing. And thank you for having me, on your podcast. I love meeting new people just like you. And doing this in conversation.
We came together for a reason, I'm sure. And I absolutely loved every second of it. Thank you again, Dr. Louise. And I cannot wait to follow you and learn more from you. Thank you again.
You're welcome.